Hello! Welcome to Valkyria Chronicles. This is going to be a little bit weird considering the last time I played Valkyria Chronicles was... I don't actually know. Probably should have checked that before I decided to say that sentence, but... it's been a while, to say the least. Last time I played it, it was on PS3, and I was renting the game. I got a bit tired of it, so I returned it, and because I was renting it, I couldn't come back around to it to finish it, but... it is now on PC, and this is the PC version. Not that I can technically show you by just doing this, but it is the PC version, so, you know, it's a thing, has transpired. There's a few things that I didn't do in the original PS3 series, and you can notice I'm already on New Game Plus, don't worry about that. There's a few things I didn't do in the original series. Those things being the following, I believe. I did not do the harder difficulty skirmishes. They go all the way up to expert. Hard mode on these is relatively simple. Expert, on the other hand, is quite difficult, so I will be trying to do those, more than likely going to be A rank attempts. They may not be A ranks, though. The reason A rank attempts is because, quite frankly, if you don't do it and an A rank attempt manner, form, whatever, if you don't do it super optimally, you're gonna have a heck of a hard time on expert missions. And actually, I'll go ahead and load up an expert mission just to kind of show you, because the loading screens take about all of a quarter of a second. Even while recording to the same drive that this is installed on, which you normally would not do. This is the very first map that you actually do in the game, and by default it's a very easy map, even on hard skirmish difficulty. But on expert, we have another thing entirely. So we got Welkin. You might notice Welkin's not the tank. That's because Welkin can't be in a tank in expert difficulty, and we're just going to plop down some random people here. We're not actually going to do this mission. Sure, that'll do, and we'll deploy. So our objectives for this mission: all enemies are defeated. It's actually, if I recall, fairly tricky. I shouldn't say hard mode's easy, but for the most part, hard mode is nowhere near expert level difficulty. So you immediately start, and then you immediately get hit by 3 mortars that always hit in this pattern. You cannot leave people in their starting positions or they will die. The other thing you'll notice, they have tanks. Very, very heavy tanks. So they have double tank destroyer, they have a sniper up there, scout, trooper with a base. This side has heavy gatlings and troopers lined up all over it, and another sniper, and there's more heavy gatlings down there. It's pretty bad. So you have to move, and you have to move in a very specific way, or you'll end up doing something like this, where you pick a unit, and then, you know, they get shot 700 times before anything even happens. Plus there's that tank destroyer right there, which will wreck you. And if you don't move...
ain't no stopping
yeah, alright. We didn't need that to trigger. If you don't move, you'll get wrecked by the mortars. So this is actually probably one of the more difficult expert missions, despite being the first map in the game. So theoretically, we'll be running through those. It might take a while. I actually meant to end, not end phase. Gosh darned it. I forgot there was another tank destroyer up there, who decides to come over and shoot you in your spawn if you happen to not move. I forgot about that guy. Sadly, we have to wait for them to finish their turn, which is gonna end up killing me. Is there a second tank destroyer up there? I was unaware of there being apparently mini tanks up there. Oh, that's a medium tank. So apparently behind that hill is a lot of tanks, as it turns out. That's kind of irrelevant because we're not going to be able to do this anyway. Anti-tank cannon, which is kind of irrelevant, really. We don't have a tank, and anti-tank cannons do not do interception fire, so it's actually beneficial to have anti-tank cannons rather than heavy gatling in this difficulty, because you don't have tanks. You have a lot of people, though. He's going to take a pot shot at someone, probably kill Welkin. Nope. If Welkin dies, by the way, it's game over. He is still a vital character, even though he doesn't have a tank. So there's mortar 1, which killed Welkin, I think. Yeah, there he goes. There's your game over. So it's really, really difficult because he's not in a tank. He's really easy to kill. He's just a scout, so go ahead and just load back that save data. The other things we'll be doing are also in the skirmish category, actually. We have all of these skirmishes to do, and these are all of the class challenges, so Scout, Lancer, Sniper, Tank, Shock Trooper, and Engineer. I've never actually done these, despite having the DLC on PS3. I believe I did the Scout trial, and I think that was it. These probably are not going to be A ranks because I, quite frankly, don't know anything about them, and I'd rather do them without knowing something about them because I feel like it's more fun for me. Probably more fun to watch as well, but the other things I skipped over are the reports. Some of these contain the story. You might notice they're in between specific chapters. They kind of flow with the story a little bit, but I've already done all of the chapters in the story, so next up is the reports and stuff that I skipped over. Probably one report per video. The reports aren't necessarily too long. Some of them are very short, like I believe Squad 7's R&R is just cutscenes. Others have combat, like Largo's Passion has combat, stuff like that. We'll be doing those, and I'm probably going to end up doing A-rank runs of all of the battles in each chapter without playing any of the cutscenes in said chapter, because I've already got a series with all the cutscenes. Right. The other thing we're going to go over in this video, which is technically a test video, is we're going to go back to the headquarters and explain some stuff. This is New Game Plus, and I'll probably mention this in like every A-rank video as well, but this is New Game Plus, and I'm going to be running on the assumption that anyone who's, you know, using what I'm doing as kind of like a reference. Oh yeah, I forgot, he doesn't even talk to you when you're done. For people who might be using these videos as a reference, the assumption is that you're running the same equipment, characters, and level that I am, and you might have noticed I can't go to the training field. That's because I'm already level 20. We are completely maxed out. The other thing is, we are completely maxed out on weapons research. We could still go here though, because you can swap around the Edelweiss and stuff like that. But we're completely maxed out on weapons research. There's a lot of it. Lots of options for weapons and all sorts of things. Yeah, so we're going to be using the best of the best weapons for all of these missions, even though for a lot of them we're going to be horribly overpowered, even just because we're level 20. We have a lot of... we don't have all of the orders, but we have a lot of the orders, including, I believe, all of the important ones. We do not have the best of the best ace weapons or a lot of royal weapons, but in certain instances I will say I'm running royal weapons or high-end ace weapons or whatever. In those cases I'll explicitly mention it and I'll put it in the description or whatever. Alright, let's go ahead and look at this squad, because a lot of this squad is very specifically placed there for a reason. Let's go like this. So, we obviously have Alicia, Rosie, and Largo because you cannot remove them. The other people we have for scouts are Musad, however you pronounce that guy's name, Melville, Wavy, Phrygia, and Aika. I think it's Aika. The scouts, it's not really too much of an issue, but you'll want ones that can trigger, I can't actually see their additional stuff, but whatever. You'll want ones that trigger decent abilities, fairly frequently, which most of these are fairly good scouts. Some of them not too useful, but they're kind of there just to fill in open slots because I can. On the Shock Trooper front, everyone but Edie is really important. Edie's just here because it's Edie and she has her own DLC, so she's just here with us for giggles. Hans, it's not actually Hans, but I like pronouncing that because the pig has the greatest name. Vice and Jane are more or less required for a lot of the stuff we're going to be doing. These people have ultimate damage triggers, and anything that has ultimate in front of it has a 100% trigger chance. It will always trigger when you select the unit. It's really useful. Vice has a couple other abilities that are nice. Double attack, which... I'm going to explain something about double attack, it's pretty cool. When you have team attacks, or assisted attacks, or whatever they're called in this game, only the character you select is going to trigger stuff like ultimate damage, so they're going to be doing a ton of damage, your partner is going to be hitting for basically nothing. This really only matters for endgame bosses. But double attack, when a double attack triggers, you keep your ultimate damage. You don't use additional CP. I believe you use additional ammo, but I'm not sure of anyone who actually has any ammo that double attack applies to, but I would imagine you use additional ammo. But basically you use 1 CP to control Vice. You run him up next to a group of other shock troopers like Hans, Jane, Edie, and Rosie. You tell him to attack, he triggers his ultimate damage, he does a bunch of damage, everyone else helps him, and then double attack triggers, he's still doing ultimate damage, and everyone else also gets a second shot. So everyone that's actually in the initial firing line, I don't know, whatever, the assisted attack, they also get the double attack trigger. So that's nice. I like that. In the Lancer category, everyone here is important. Largo because he gives you CP mostly, but he also has some pretty good traits when you do his report. It unlocks some decent stuff for him. Jan is good. Just straight up, he's openly, flamboyantly gay, but you know, he's got nice traits. Fancies men. Can't go wrong with that. He fancies Largo too, which is nice because usually Largo's on the field anyway. It's always nice to have people that like your officers that give CP because you'll have them anyway. Jan, Hector, Audrey, and Elise all have ultimate anti-tank or whatever it is, I believe. I think they all do. They should all do. There's a couple of other abilities in here. I think Largo might have the ability as well, which is restore ammunition. I think Audrey has one that, one of them has one that restores all of their ammo, but it'll only trigger if they have 0 ammunition at the end of the turn. You can use Awakened Potential to trigger it all the time, and continuously use them to shoot a target, and they'll always have ultimate damage. Some of them have double tank damage and anti-tank bonuses, which stack with ultimate damage, so it gets a bit ridiculous. On the engineer front, it doesn't really matter too much, but Claudia and Nadine are good engineers, so you can go ahead and take them anyway. They have a couple of things like super defense and stuff like that. That's nice. Mostly they're just not bad. This is why I have them. And on our sniper front, we have Marina, because it's Marina and she's amazing, and Scissory Guard. Primarily because he's not bad, is more or less it. There's a couple of additional recruits that you can get that are also good. Yoko has amazing accuracy if you want a Lancer that has really good accuracy. But I have not unlocked all of the recruits because I haven't actually killed off, spoilers, I haven't actually killed off certain recruits to unlock other recruits. I may or may not get around to that, I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I probably won't, but whatever. On that note, this is more or less going to be a test video, but you know, just letting people know we're going to be doing reports, skirmishes, EX skirmishes, hard skirmishes, class skirmishes. I believe I've done all of the extra DLC that's available on the title screen. Let's go ahead and actually back out to the title screen just to check. And I will probably also be doing quick A-rank runs on the campaign maps. Those are really short, so a lot of those are probably going to be extraordinarily short videos because there will be no cutscenes. So just letting people know. I believe I have done A-rank behind her blue flame and maybe not on camera, and I'm pretty sure I did enter the ED detachment. Yeah, I did behind her blue flame because we got the gun you get for A-ranking that. I remember now. I think it's A-ranking that. It might just be clearing all of the maps get you it, because if I recall, there's 2 routes that you can take through that DLC. Expert level skirmishes talked about. Challenge ED detachment is the class skirmishes, so we'll get around to that. Anyway, just wanted to let you guys know that this is a thing that is transpiring, because it's now out on PC, so I own it, so I can do it at my leisure without, you know, worrying the fact that I'm renting something and I have a 1 game per month rental plan, and whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with this little test video and I won't need to redo it, and I'll see you guys next time when we go ahead and get this started.